Hello, everybody. Mandragora came out just a few days ago, and I noticed that there was a little bit of sketchiness surrounding it, with a lot of people complaining, and I also noticed that a lot of people didn't understand what people were complaining about, and so they were either just complaining about the complaining or joining in on the complaining. And that's kind of just the internet, right? As soon as somebody starts getting a bit of hate, there's going to be people defending them on principle, and there's going to be people joining in on the hate on principle, not really knowing what the hell is happening. Because, humans are social animals, we're kind of like gerbils in a lot of ways. However, I am not a gerbil. And so I was curious and wanted to know what the hell was happening. Took me some trying to figure things out. Like, I read through a bunch of reviews, and a lot of reviews were kind of just people saying, don't buy this game, don't buy this game. It's like, not actually explaining it. But I managed to track down what is actually happening, and so here's what is happening. When Mandragora came out, people found two things that they found were a little sketchy. Now, number one was that apparently they were associated with a company that has been found to be a little loose when it comes to user data. That's number one. And number two, the end user license agreement was a little off. So, let's read what it said on launch. This has since been changed. We'll talk about that after. But this is what the end user license agreement said on launch. Information we can collect automatically. We may collect other information automatically when you use our services, such as in-game user ID, normal, IP address, normal, time of registration, normal, device, hardware, software information, including limitation, basically understanding what you're running the game on. Normal. General location data, normal. Browser information, including without limitation your browser type and language preference. A little more weird. Advertising identifiers, normal. Funnily enough, this one's normal. Engagement information regarding users' interaction with advertisement, yep, normal. This is just generic stuff. The game, as far as I know, doesn't really have any advertisement in it and doesn't really require you to run with a browser, but this is stuff that is on all of them. But it is the sort of thing that is going to make a lot of people immediately perk up, right? Regardless, device event information, including without limitation crash data from the app, etc., 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 and performance of my game's app, normal. Network information, including without limitation your internet provider and/or phone network operator, again, normal stuff. Information about payments, normal. Photos with you and other participants of my game's event, normal, right? So, these are the ones that people are going to find sketchy, and these are the ones that a lot of people have found sketchy. However, these are normal. These are on most, if not all, or some version of this. This is a generic end-user license agreement thing. Alright, but let's read the very last bit of it. Information provided by third parties. We may receive information about you from third parties, such as information from third-party authenticators that you use when you register. Yep. And information from platforms operated by third parties on or through which you bought, downloaded, or get access to the services, like Steam. Right? Information from other users of the service. And then you've got the full end-user license agreement, but this is the thing that people were talking about. So I do want to drive home that this is generic stuff. This is normal stuff. Right? But this became sketchy because Mandragora is owned by a company that is kind of regarded with a little bit of sketchiness. And because it's regarded with sketchiness, people look at this and they think it's sketchy. Regardless, the developers have addressed it. Now, I haven't fully read this, I just saw that they had addressed it, and so we're going to read it now. And then we're going to talk about it. So, what's changed? After a thorough review, we found some legal documents shown at launch weren't actually related to Mandragora. These have now been removed to better reflect. You can view the updated end-user license agreement here. So, it just takes us here, and this one I have skimmed through. They did, in fact, take out the things that people were complaining about. For example, Let's see if we can find the same part. Oh, look at that. It's not here anymore, right? It's just telling you how you have to behave for the game and interacting with the game. But let's try and see about other things. Network information, not here anymore. So as you see, they took out the things that were in fact creating discomfort in people. Okay. The ULA itself hasn't changed. The standard agreement is still similar to what you'll find for most games on Steam. True, as I said. About the privacy policy. The privacy policy is in place to allow the collection of limited technical and gameplay data, things like crash reports, system specification, performance stats, etc. Yep. This data helps the team quickly identify bugs and issues. That said, submitting this data is entirely optional. You can decline the privacy policy at first launch and still enjoy the full single-player experience. If you've already accepted the policy but wish to opt out, simply delete your existing save file and relaunch the game. You'll be prompted again to accept or deny it. This is not the best way to do it. You changed the end-user license agreement, therefore you should prompt everyone from this point forward who logs into the game to have to agree to it again or disagree to it. Regardless, we've removed any run-related documentation that might have been confusing or unnecessary for a single-player title like Mandragora, you know, the stuff referring to advertisements and all of that stuff. If you have any more questions or run into issues, we're here to help. Thanks again for your vigilance, patience, and support. Knights Peak Interactive, publisher of Mandragora. Okay, and they marked this post as well as being relevant. So, I'm gonna read through this again. First, we must emphasize that we highly respect your privacy and comply with applicable laws, including without limitation the European Union General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR. Yes. The California Consumer Privacy Act, the UK GDPR, the Lei Geral de Proteção de Dados, consumer privacy laws of Virginia, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Utah, and other states and jurisdictions. To avoid confusion, the concerns raised by community members in regards to potential information collected from players are a part of our privacy policy and not the end-user license agreement, which is a separate agreement. Privacy policy can be declined, and if you do, no personal identifiable data will be collected at all. To do this, once you start the game for the first time, you'll be presented in-game with the privacy policy, and you will have a choice whether to accept or decline. If you decline the privacy policy, the game will load and you can continue to play as normal. If you have existing save games, you are currently unable to opt out, as may have already accepted the privacy policy. However, we are working to add an option to opt out in-game. This is good. They should have this option. You should be able to opt in or out at any time for whatever reason, anywhere, whenever you want. Let's continue. In the short term, if you would like to have your data removed, please contact us via this thing. I meant to highlight it, but through here, and quote the Mandragora privacy policy in your subject line so we can deal with your inquiry efficiently. We also want to remind you that you have the right to request access to your data and the right to ask us to erase your data. This is true. At any point, you can reach out to any online retailer and say, hey, I want my data deleted. And they have to do it. If they don't do it, they open themselves up to getting demolished in court. So this is something that they're not even gonna fucking blink at it. Unless you've got some juicy ass information, which I guarantee you don't. Just reach out and say, hey, I want you to erase my information. If this concerns you. There's a number of online platforms that you can reach out to, and they also do this for you. There's a number of them. Other bigger YouTubers with sponsorships have already talked about them, and unfortunately, I ain't the one. Sorry, guys. Regardless, there's stuff here as well. My games regarding the privacy policy, with a full list of the rights. If you have any questions about your personal identifiable data processing, the enforceability of this privacy policy, or any other privacy concern, contact our DPO at dpo@my.games. If you would all have any doubts about agreeing to the current privacy policy, we encourage you to decline it on your end and continue enjoying our game. Okay, so, despite this, There have still been people saying that, oh, they're lying, they're changing things. For example, one person here is saying the end-user license agreement itself hasn't changed. The standard agreement is similar to what you'll find for most games on Steam and other platforms. And that makes it anti-consumer, and that makes anti-consumer spyware okay, so please stop criticizing us and don't point out we have a history of such at my games. Except that's not what they said. It's not what they said. Regardless, you actually can't decline it, so that's just a lie. Yep, update today made me accept it again. No way to decline it. This is a problem, right? If you cannot decline it. Now, I still haven't bought the game yet. I'm holding off because there's other stuff that I want to do first. But this is pretty big, that you cannot decline the privacy agreement. Because, yeah, that creates a problem. If you say you can decline it and then you can't, that's a problem. Regardless, a lot of people are talking about this in a way that is ignorant. Like, you've got people saying digital privacy is an illusion this day and age. Doesn't mean you shouldn't fight for it. People complaining that you can't actually decline it. Some people reinterpreting this in the worst way possible just because they are mad about it. Now, hey, I don't know the history of my games, but these guys have a name for being sketchy with other people's information. Is that good? Absolutely not. Is this a completely middle of the road end user license agreement? Absolutely. This is a regular ass license agreement. But people are mad about it. My Games is a Russian game company. It's faced controversy regarding its ownership in the past. It's, been accused of this in the past. Has it been found guilty? I can't see anything regarding that. They've denied allegations, of course, right? But people will be people. And people are dumb, violent animals. A person is smart. People are not. And the moment that you get a bunch of people talking about something and getting their emotions up, they are going to ignore facts. Because that's just the way it is. Now, is there anything in that end-user license agreement that allows them to get away with something that other games don't do? No, there isn't. This is a completely middle of the road end-user license agreement, and the privacy policy is also pretty normal. That being said, they said that you can decline it. If that is not true, I urge everybody to just refund the game. Straight up. Just don't play it. Say that you're not going to play it. Complain about it. Report the game to Steam. Steam will do the investigation. If Steam finds it, and by the way, Steam is one of the most pro-consumer platforms out there. I think everybody agrees with this. There's a few retards out there who like to pretend otherwise, but it's just the truth. Reach out to Steam. Get them to investigate this. If Steam finds this to be sketchy, they will deal with it, because they have before. They have before every single time. But, with that being said, see you guys next time. Be careful out there. Have a good one. Like, comment, subscribe. Cheers.